So for the first DIY, we're going to take one of the pumpkins from Dollar Tree, and you can go through and sand down the back and make it smooth. But honestly, I feel like just using the back of it, like the actual back of the pumpkin, makes it a lot easier versus going through and sanding all the glitter off because we all know glitter is a hot mess. So I went through, took the back part of the pumpkin, painted it white with the Waverly chalk paint. You can get that at Walmart. I love that paint because a little goes a long way and it's easy to work with. It's very forgiving when you do make mistakes with it. So I went ahead and just painted the entire back of it. And I actually did 2 coats of the Waverly chalk paint, and then I took one of the burlap fall leaves from Dollar Tree. I think it came like in a pack of 5, if I remember correctly. So I just took one of those, and then I took some glue and I glued the welcome part onto it. And then as an added touch, I did go through with some jute twine just around the top part of the pumpkin. That's optional. You don't have to do that or anything. You can paint it white or paint it brown. But I wanted to keep with that farmhouse rustic theme, so I went ahead and did a little bit of not burlap, jute twine on the top of it. And that's pretty much it for the first DIY. Just kind of taking my finger and kind of cleaning up some of the glue that kind of spills over onto the side. Now for the next one, I did take another sign from Dollar Tree, taking the ribbon out on the top, painting it white. Again, a lot of my home is, white and rustic. Got a lot of neutral colors in it. So I'm painting it white with the Waverly chalk paint again. I only did 1 coat with this one because I was trying to keep it, because I was going to do some painting with it to add like that distressed kind of feel to it later. So I wasn't too concerned about adding, 2 coats of paint or anything to it. Once it dried, I just took a Sharpie, a fine point Sharpie, and I tried to give it that shiplap look to it. So take my ruler and measured it out. By all means, it was not perfect or anything. When you get up closer, you can kind of see it's a little uneven, but in general, it doesn't matter. No one's going to pay attention to it too much. Then I went through with some brown, and then I did a little bit of brown, a little bit of gray as well, just to kind of add a little bit of that distressed look to it. And then if you ever add too much of the brown or like the dark colors, you can always go through with the white and kind of soften it later. And these are all the Waverly chalk paint as well. So after figuring out where I was going to place everything, just took my hot glue gun, glued the burlap leaf onto it. I used a little bit of hot glue for the harvest sign. And that little metal pumpkin was actually on the front side of this Dollar Tree sign. I just took a butter knife, peeled it off, and just hot glued it onto the burlap. Our third and final DIY today is another pumpkin from Dollar Tree. I took some Mod Podge. That was actually a lot of Mod Podge that I ended up using. I kind of wiped some of it off a little bit later. I was like, oh, this was a little too much. So just taking some Mod Podge and doing a layer all over it. Yeah, that was a lot of, I figured it out at that point. I was like, yep, I'm going to take some of it off now. So doing that layer of Mod Podge, and I did go to Hobby Lobby and I bought, it was about $20, I believe, of their scrapbook paper. It's like you get like so many papers of it. So I got some of their scrapbook paper. I do like that shiplap design, so I just took that paper from the scrapbook and just pressed it onto there. I did take my cutting board and I let it actually sit overnight. I wanted it to be completely flat and completely even with it. So the next morning I went through, I trimmed the sides of it down with an X-Acto knife, took one of those burlap leaves from the Dollar Tree, measured out for the top part of the stem of the pumpkin. And you can tell I did decide to go through, this was kind of a last minute thing I had done, but I did take some of that brown Waverly chalk paint and just add a little bit of a distressed look to it, just to kind of match everything else. So the night prior, my husband and I were at Kirkland's and we had seen a pumpkin there that had lettering on it. And he was like, we should get one of these, but it ended up being like $25. I was like, no way, I can totally make one of those. So I just went to Walmart, I got one of their stencils there, and I got the letter B, and I took some of the Waverly chalk paint, I believe it was in truffle, and just took that brown and pressed it all over. And here are our 3 Dollar Tree DIY fall decor signs. I hope you guys liked these. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!